I used to think my story was mine alone. That what I endured, what I witnessed, what I survived, was something personal. A singular journey of pain and insight. But I was wrong, because suffering when truly faced does something strange. It makes you porous. It breaks the walls you've built around your ego. It shows you that your life, your thoughts, your fears, your longings were never meant to remain yours. They were meant to become a gift to another, to a stranger, to the world, and that is the final transformation. Not just to survive, not just to heal, but to offer your story as light. You see, meaning is not the destination. You see, meaning is not the destination. It is the bridge between pain and purpose, between isolation and connection, between being and becoming. And when you cross that bridge, when you begin to live, not only for yourself but for others, you discover a secret no comfort can give you, that the greatest joy lies not in getting, but in giving, but in giving. Not in being seen, but in seeing. Not in being understood, but in understanding. Not in taking, but in offering all that your suffering has taught you. I remember, after the camps, returning to the world. A world that had moved on. A world that wanted simple answers, quick recoveries, clean stories. But there was nothing clean about what we had been through, nothing neat or easy. And so, I wrote, I spoke. I offered the blood of my memory as a map, not to dwell in the past, but to redeem it. And something happened I could not have predicted. People listened, not to the details, not to the horror, but to the humanity. They saw their own suffering mirrored in mine. Their own questions echoed in my silence, their own longing for meaning reflected in my journey. And I realized this is what it means to be more than a survivor. It means to become a mirror. To hold your pain in a way that helps others face theirs. To become a vessel through which meaning is not only found, but shared. This is the final stage of healing, not closure, but contribution. Not moving on, but moving forward. You do not get over suffering. You grow through it. You walk with it. You let it become a teacher, not a tormentor. And then, when you are ready, you let it speak. Not just for you, but for those who have no voice. For those still drowning in their own darkness. For those who need your story like oxygen. Because we are all searching for someone who has been through the fire and emerged human. You can be that someone, but only if you are willing to transcend yourself. To become not just the center of your life, but the servant of something larger. Perhaps it's a cause. A child, a creation, a commitment to truth. Whatever it is, it will ask more of you than comfort ever could. But it will give you something greater than happiness, peace. Peace that comes when your life becomes coherent, when your choices align with your values, when your suffering is no longer random, but purposeful. And that peace is contagious. It radiates. Your smile, that smile born from truth, becomes a signal. To the hopeless, to the searching, to the ones who think they cannot go on. It tells them, there is still a reason, there is still a way, there is still something worth becoming. That is the legacy of meaning, not fame, not perfection, but presence and service and truth, and truth. So I ask you, one final time, what is your suffering preparing you to offer? What wisdom lies within your wounds? What truth is your life aching to speak? You do not need to be perfect to offer something meaningful. You do not need to be healed to begin healing others. You simply need to be willing. Willing to see your life, not as an accident, not as a burden, but as a message. And every day you live aligned with that message, you become free, not from pain, but from futility, not from suffering, but from despair. And that freedom, inner, unshakable, is the only one that truly matters. They took everything from me, but they could not take this. They could not take the meaning I chose, the love I remembered, the hope I carried, the truth I now offer to you. So take it, hold it, let it become your own. And then, when you are ready, pass it on. People often ask me, how did you survive? And I tell them, I didn't survive because I was strong. I survived because I had something stronger than despair. I had a reason, and that reason gave birth to meaning. And that meaning in time gave birth to responsibility. Because once you know that life is asking something from you, not giving, but asking, everything changes. You stop chasing what you can get from life and start asking what life wants from you. This is the sacred reversal. The moment ego dies and purpose is born, most people live backwards. They ask, what will make me happy? But happiness, as I said before, is a byproduct, not a goal. It is the scent of a life lived in truth. And truth is not always comfortable, but it is always liberating. So the real question is not, how do I feel good? The real question is, what is the right thing to do with the pain I've lived through? Because your pain is not meaningless. It is not random. It is not a punishment. It is material. It is raw, sacred clay from which something enduring can be shaped. But only if you shape it. Only if you dare to give it form. For me, that form was logotherapy. A therapy not obsessed with trauma, but with transcendence. Not fixated on pathology, but on possibility. I chose to believe that no matter how brutal life becomes, there is always a choice. Not in the event, but in the response. And in that choice lies your soul. Let me be clear. Meaning is not comfort. Meaning is not easy. Meaning is often found in the very place you least want to look. It will not remove your suffering. It will not silence your grief. But it will make your grief speak truth. And in that truth, others will find their path. Because here is the final secret. What you suffer through when transformed becomes the exact thing someone else needs to survive. Your story is medicine. But not if you hide it. Not if you pretend to be whole when you are breaking. Not if you bury your past instead of planting it. You must plant it. You must let it root. Only then can it bloom into wisdom, into love, into action. You think your smile is just a smile. But maybe, just maybe, it is the only light someone will see today. You think your silence is emptiness. But maybe it is the space where someone else finally feels safe enough to speak. You think your presence is ordinary, but maybe your very being is what breaks someone else's fall. This is what I learned. We matter most when we live beyond ourselves. When we stop asking what we deserve and start offering what we have. Even if what we have is pain turned into truth. Even if what we have is just a voice that says, you are not alone. That is no small gift. That is everything. And so I ask you, not for your willingness, but for your willingness. Are you willing to let your life be used? Are you willing to let your pain become a seed? Because here, at the end of all things, I do not speak as a therapist, or a doctor, or a man who survived. I speak as a soul who saw the edge and chose to return, not for myself, but for you. For the one listening, for the one reading, for the one still carrying the question, does it mean anything? Yes, it does. It always has, even when you could not see it, even when it hurt too much to look. Meaning is not something you find. It is something you create in the response you give to life. It is the art of turning agony into empathy, of turning loneliness into listening, of turning silence into strength. So if you're waiting for life to become easier before you begin, you may wait forever. Begin now. Begin here. Begin with the very thing you've been avoiding. Because the path you fear the most may be the path you are called to walk. And on that path, not beside it, not beyond it, but on it, you will become who you were meant to be. You will not return the same. You will return wider, softer, truer. Not immune to suffering, but empowered by it, because you will finally know the answer to the question that haunted you all this time. Not why did this happen to me, but what now with this? And when you live that question deeply, you become the answer, a living, breathing answer. You become meaning incarnate, and no one, not death, not cruelty, not despair, can take that from you. So go. Go not in search of ease, but in search of essence. And when you find it, when you find that one small light that refuses to go out inside you, guard it, not with fear, but with purpose. Let it shine, let it guide you. And when you see another walking in darkness, extend that light and say, I too have walked through fire. I too have doubted. I too have fallen. but I found something, and now I offer it to you. That is how the world is healed. That is how the world is healed. Not all at once, but one soul at a time, one smile, one truth, one act of love that says, I see you, so let this be your smile. Not the one you hide, but the one born from meaning, the one that does not demand to be understood but quietly offers understanding, the one that carries all your pain and all your love in a single luminous gesture. They say time heals all wounds, but I disagree. Time alone does nothing. It simply passes. What heals, what transforms, is the way we choose to carry the wound. And perhaps the most sacred choice of all is to not just heal, but to help heal others. This is where meaning becomes legacy, not in grand gestures, but in silent, consistent acts of service born from our scars. There was a man in the camp, an old teacher, once a philosopher. He had lost everything: his books, his family, his country. He had nothing left, nothing except his words. And each night, when the others lay in near-death exhaustion, he would whisper poems into the darkness, not loud, not for attention, just a faint murmur like a candle flickering in a cave. I remember listening, and for a moment, I forgot I was starving. I forgot I was imprisoned. I was simply human again, alive in the echo of something beautiful. That man never made it out. But at Edinburgh, I carried them. And now, so do you. You see, what you offer in your suffering, when done with love, does not die. It passes on. It becomes someone else's reason. We often believe we must be healed before we can help. But the truth is, helping is part of healing. Service is not the reward of meaning. It is its expression. And service is not just what we do. It is who we choose to be, even in our pain, especially in our pain. Some believe suffering is a curse. But what if it is a calling? Not one you asked for, but one you are uniquely qualified to answer. Because you have felt what others fear. You have seen the bottom. You have walked through the fire and emerged, not perfect, but present. Present enough to walk with someone else through their night. That is what the world needs. Not more certainty, not more perfection, but more presence. More people willing to say, I do not have all the answers, but I will not leave your side. We are so obsessed with being right, being strong, being healed. But what if the greatest strength is simply not turning away? Not from your own shadow. To be angry at the world, to curse life, but I could not. Because I had seen too much sacredness rise from the ashes. I had seen a man give his last piece of bread to another. I had seen a woman use her final breath to say a prayer. I had seen hope flicker in the most hopeless eyes. How could I call life meaningless when it had revealed such beauty? Not in spite of suffering, but through it. And so I devoted the rest of my life to this question. How can we suffer? With purpose, not to romanticize pain, not to glorify trauma, but to insist that no suffering be wasted, to demand that every sorrow find its place in the mosaic of meaning, even your sorrow, especially yours. You think no one sees your pain, but perhaps your pain was never meant to be hidden. Perhaps it was meant to be shaped, refined, offered. Pain transforms us, or it hardens us. It opens the heart, or it seals it shut. The difference is not in the pain. The difference is in the response. Will you become bitter or deeper? Will you shut down or open? Will you seek revenge or redemption? Or will you seek revenge? These are not abstract questions. They are the ground beneath your feet. They are the crossroads you walk every day. And let me be honest, to choose meaning is not easier. It is harder. It requires presence, humility, courage, but it also gives back more than it takes. I have counseled many who believed they had nothing left to live for. And yet, the moment they found a purpose beyond themselves, a child, a calling, a cause, they came back to life. Not because their suffering vanished, but because their soul reawakened. The soul does not thrive on pleasure. The soul thrives on purpose. Even a small one. Even a whispered reason. That is why I say, meaning is not found in the grand events of life. It is forged in the choices we make when no one is watching. When the smile you give to a stranger ripples through their day. When the word you offer becomes a thread someone else clings to. When you choose integrity in secret, love in silence, and courage in the quiet of your own heart. That is meaning. That is the hidden architecture of a life well lived. And that architecture is built not in spite of suffering, but with it. We are not called to avoid pain. We are called to redeem it. And redemption begins when we ask not just, what do I want from life? But what does life want from me? What is life calling you to give? Precisely because of what you have endured. What unique wisdom has your pain carved into you? What medicine do you now carry? Because I promise you, someone, somewhere, is waiting for it. And you may never know who. That is the humility of meaning. You may never see the fruit of your offering, but you offer it anyway. You smile anyway. You forgive anyway. You forgive anyway. Because the meaning is not in the result. It is in the act itself. To live with purpose is to live lit from within. Not because the world is kind, but because you have chosen to be. Not because your story is free of wounds, but because your wounds have become windows. And through those windows, light shines. Yes, your smile still matters. Not because it hides your pain, but because it rises in spite of it. That is the smile I carried. That is the smile that carried me. And that is the smile you now carry forward. Not for show, not for others, but as a sacred signal. I am still here. I am still choosing. I am still becoming. There is a kind of meaning that goes beyond words. It is not taught, it is remembered, as if your soul has always known. And suffering simply woke it up. In the camp, I saw men die without ever knowing they mattered. And I saw others live, even with broken bodies, because something deep in them whispered, "You are not finished yet." That whisper is still alive in you. You hear it when the night is quiet, when the distractions fade, when the world's applause grows silent and all that remains is the beating of your own heart. It says, "Live." Not just because you can, but because someone else can't. Give. Not because you have all the answers, but because you've carried the questions longer than most. Speak, not with perfection, but with truth. We have mistaken success for meaning. We have confused comfort with fulfillment. But comfort without purpose becomes numbness. What makes you alive is not what you possess. It is what you pursue, despite your wounds. And if you listen closely, you will hear life ask you a simple question. Will you turn your suffering into service? Not for glory, not for recognition, but because it is the only act that completes the pain. The transformation is not complete until the wound becomes a source of healing. It is easy to despair, it is easy to hide, but what is rare, what is sacred, is to rise, to smile again. Not because life is easy, but because you are no longer afraid of its depth. That is what I want you to understand. You were not meant to escape pain. You were meant to be changed by it, into someone more awake, more present, more able to love. And love is the highest form of meaning, not romance, not sentiment, but the choice to see the other, truly see them, and say, your suffering is mine, your story matters, I will not turn away. That is how we redeem our own suffering, by making space for another's, by becoming, not perfect, but available. It is not too late. You have not missed your calling. You have not wasted your pain, because your pain is not the end. It is the beginning of your offering. And meaning is the offering itself. So I ask you, again, not, what do you want from life? But what do you want from life? But does life now want from you? Where is it pointing you? What is it preparing you for? Who needs to hear your story, your truth, your resilience? You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to be willing to show up, to speak, to smile, not because the pain is gone, but because you are learning to carry it with purpose. Your life is not a mistake. Your wounds are not accidents. They are invitations to awaken, to serve, to remember who you are when everything else is stripped away. That is why I never called myself a victim, because a victim waits for rescue, but a survivor chooses response. And I chose to respond with meaning, not because I was strong, but because it was the only freedom left to me. And now you have that freedom too. You do not have to wait, not for healing, not for clarity, not for the world to change. You can begin now, right here, in the mess and mystery of your life. Choose meaning. Choose to live as if your pain has a purpose. Choose to believe that nothing is wasted, not even this. Because one day, someone will sit across from you, broken, silent, afraid, and you will know exactly what to say, not because you memorized it, but because you lived it. That is the gift you carry. The hidden seed inside your wound. Let it grow. Let it bloom. Let it become the reason someone else decides to stay. Because sometimes the meaning of your life is not about what you do for yourself, but about who you become for others. That is the final freedom. The highest answer to suffering. To give it away. To let your pain become a bridge. To let your life become a torch passed into trembling hands. And when that day comes, when you see that someone's eyes light up because of what you dared to survive, you will understand why it was all worth it. Not because it was fair, not because it was easy, but because you chose to redeem it. And in doing so, you helped redeem the world, one soul at a time. So smile. Even if it trembles, smile. Not to hide the pain, but to declare the meaning. Smile because you have survived. Smile because you have chosen. Smile because your story is not over yet, and because somewhere, someone you may never meet is still here, still breathing because of it. So in the end, what remains? Not the titles, not the applause, not even the pain. What remains is the choice you made when life gave you none. What remains is the moment you stood in the dark and refused to let go of the light inside you. The breath you chose to take when it would have been easier to stop. The smile you wore, not out of joy, but out of defiance. The whisper of your soul that said, I am still here, and I still matter. That is meaning. Not written in books, not found in comfort, but carved into the very bones of your being. It is not about avoiding suffering. It is about transforming it. And that, only that, can never be taken from you. So if you forget everything else I've said, remember this. You are not what you have lost. You are what you choose to become next. And somewhere, in the silent places of this world, someone is waiting to feel less alone. Someone is waiting to see you rise. Someone is waiting to hear your truth. Spoken not with perfection, but with presence. So speak. So live. So love. Because even in the ruins, even with your scars, even through your silent smile, you are the meaning the world is still waiting for. I invite you now to journey even deeper into the essence of your search, to venture beyond the surface of your hidden smile and explore what lies beneath, the silent wellspring of meaning that stirs within you. This search is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a lived experience, a sacred dialogue between your soul and the world. Have you ever wondered why, even amidst pain and despair, a faint smile can break through? Why the human spirit persists, clutching onto hope with trembling hands? This smile you hide is not a simple expression. It is a profound testament to your will to live, to find purpose, to belong. Meaning is not handed to us on a silver platter. It is forged in the crucible of suffering, tempered by choice, and polished by resilience. Your journey is unique, shaped by the contours of your experiences, yet it echoes the timeless human quest to understand, to connect, and to transcend. You may feel lost at times, wandering through shadows without clear direction. But within the darkness, your smile glows like a distant star. Quiet, steady, unwavering. It calls you forward, urging you to seek not just survival, but significance. This search asks much of you. It demands honesty, vulnerability, and courage. It requires that you face the void within and find light there, to embrace the paradox that meaning often arises not from what we control, but from what we endure and transform. Let me tell you a truth I have witnessed countless times. Those who discover profound meaning are not those who avoid suffering, but those who confront it head-on, who recognize that suffering, while painful, is a gateway to deeper understanding and compassion. Your hidden smile is a signpost on this path, a silent declaration that you refuse to be defined by pain alone, that beneath your trials lies a spirit yearning for purpose. Ask yourself, what does your smile conceal? What stories lie behind it? What dreams, fears, and hopes are woven into its fabric? These questions are invitations to self-exploration, to peel back the layers and meet yourself with kindness and curiosity. You might discover parts of yourself long neglected, parts that have been wounded but are capable of healing, parts that hold wisdom waiting to be heard. This inner dialogue is essential. It shapes the narrative you tell yourself about who you are and what your life means. In the process, you reclaim agency. You choose how to interpret your experiences. You find meaning not despite your circumstances, but because of them. The search for meaning is a dynamic dance between acceptance and transformation. It asks you to accept the realities you cannot change while transforming your perspective. Your smile, the one you hide, is an expression of this dance, a testament to your ability to hold contradiction and move forward. Consider the metaphor of the sculptor. The sculptor sees the statue hidden within the marble. With patient hands and vision, the sculptor chips away the excess, revealing the form beneath. You are both the marble and the sculptor. Within you lies the essence of your being, waiting to be revealed through your search. This process requires patience. It asks that you be gentle with yourself when progress feels slow or uncertain. Remember, meaning is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived. It unfolds in moments of clarity and confusion, strength and vulnerability. Your hidden smile is your companion on this journey. It is the light that flickers when hope seems distant. The quiet affirmation that you are still here, still searching, still alive. As you move forward, cultivate practices that nurture your connection to meaning. Reflection, gratitude, acts of kindness, and moments of stillness can open your heart and mind. Seek connection with others who value the search. Share your stories. Listen deeply. Together you weave a tapestry of shared humanity. Remember that meaning thrives in relationship, in love, compassion, and service. You are not alone. Your smile is a bridge to others, inviting understanding and empathy. In the end, the smile you hide reveals the profound truth that your search is sacred, your life is significant, and your journey matters. As we delve deeper into the labyrinth of meaning, I invite you to confront a profound paradox. The search for meaning is both deeply personal and universally shared. You walk a path unique to your experiences, yet your footsteps echo those of countless others who have come before and those who will come after. In this shared journey, your hidden smile becomes a symbol of the human condition, a silent yet powerful expression of our collective resilience and hope. Have you ever noticed how a smile, even when carefully concealed, can communicate volumes? It speaks of endurance, of courage, of a spirit unbroken by adversity. This smile carries within it stories untold, wounds unspoken, and dreams still alive. To understand this smile is to understand yourself. To unlock the meaning embedded in your search requires a willingness to explore the depths of your being. This exploration may be uncomfortable. It may stir memories best left forgotten. But it is through this honest encounter with yourself that transformation begins. Transformation is the essence of meaning. It is the alchemy that turns pain into purpose, suffering into strength, and loss into love. Your hidden smile is the spark of this alchemy. It is the light that emerges from the shadows, guiding you toward your authentic self. You may wonder, how do I navigate this transformation? How do I move from suffering to meaning? The answer lies in choice. You may not control the events that shape your life, but you can choose your response. This choice is the foundation of freedom. Freedom to define your life by values that transcend circumstance. Freedom to find meaning in every moment, no matter how difficult. Consider the story of those who have endured unimaginable hardship, yet have found meaning through acts of kindness, creativity, or faith. Their smiles, often hidden, are testaments to the human spirit's capacity to transcend pain. They remind us that meaning is not the absence of suffering, but the presence of a purpose greater than suffering. This purpose might be love for others, dedication to a cause, or commitment to growth. Whatever form it takes, it is found in the search itself. The act of seeking meaning transforms you. It reshapes your identity and opens your heart. Your smile is a reflection of this transformation. It is the visible sign of invisible work, the daily courage to face life's challenges with grace. In embracing your search, you become both the seeker and the source of meaning. You embody the paradox of life, fragile yet strong, broken yet whole, lost yet found. This paradox is the fertile ground where meaning grows. Your smile is the seed planted in this ground. Nurture it with self-compassion and courage. Let it flourish through reflection and connection. And when the storms of life come, as they inevitably will, let your smile be the anchor that holds you steady. Because in the end, the smile you hide is not a mask of deception, but a bridge to truth. A bridge that leads you home to yourself and to the meaning you have sought all along. There is a profound mystery in the way the human spirit carries itself through suffering. How a single smile, hidden or fleeting, can carry the weight of entire lifetimes of pain and hope. This smile is more than expression. It is a beacon, a signal that beneath the surface, the soul continues its sacred search for meaning. You may have asked yourself, in the silent moments of your life, what truly sustains you when everything else falls away? What is the invisible thread that holds you steady when the storms rage? That thread, my friend, is the meaning you assign to your experience. Meaning is not something you find passively. It is something you create, actively, in the face of adversity. It is a choice you make, moment by moment. It requires you to face your fears, your doubts, your darkest thoughts, and to say, I will endure. I will find purpose even here. This choice does not erase suffering. It does not make pain disappear. But it transforms your relationship to it. Suddenly, pain becomes a teacher. Suffering becomes a pathway to growth. Loss becomes an opening to new love. The smile you hide is the silent witness to this transformation. It tells the story of a spirit that refuses to be defeated. In a world that often demands happiness as a performance, your hidden smile is radical honesty. It acknowledges that life is complex, that joy and sorrow coexist, that to be fully alive is to embrace the full spectrum of experience. This embrace is the essence of meaning. Meaning grows when you stop running from yourself and start listening deeply. When you face your shadow and find light there. When you allow your heart to crack open, letting in both pain and hope. Ask yourself, what would it mean to live with your hidden smile fully revealed, to show the world not a mask, but the authentic expression of your soul? This is the challenge and the gift of the search. It calls you to courage, vulnerability, and authenticity. To embrace your story, all of it, as worthy of love and respect. You are not defined by your past mistakes, your failures, or your wounds. You are defined by the meaning you create despite them. Each day you have the opportunity to choose meaning, to choose hope, to choose love. Your smile is a beacon, a lighthouse guiding you through the fog of uncertainty. When you nurture that smile, you nurture your soul, you invite healing and transformation. You open yourself to the possibility of joy, even in the midst of struggle, and you become a light for others, showing them the way through their own darkness. Remember, the search for meaning is not a destination. It is a continuous journey, a dance between light and shadow, between question and answer, between despair and hope. Your smile is the rhythm of that dance. It carries the music of your soul. There are moments in life when the weight of existence presses so heavily upon us that even the smallest act of smiling feels like an act of rebellion, an act of defiance against the crushing silence of despair. But this smile you hide, quiet, almost imperceptible, is not weakness. It is strength refined through adversity. It is the courage to acknowledge pain without surrendering to it. I've seen this smile in those who have faced the darkest nights of the soul, and emerged with a newfound clarity. They teach us that the human spirit is not fragile, but fiercely resilient. This resilience is not born from denial, but from acceptance. It is the product of embracing suffering as part of the human experience, not an anomaly to be avoided. To carry this smile is to carry a torch into the unknown. It lights the path not just for yourself, but for others wandering through the shadows. Each hidden smile is a beacon of hope, a reminder that even when words fail, the human heart can communicate its truth through simple gestures. Think of the times when a smile from a stranger lifted your spirit unexpectedly. In those fleeting moments, connection transcends language. It affirms our shared humanity. Your smile holds that power to connect, to heal, to inspire. But how do we cultivate such a smile when life's trials threaten to extinguish it? It begins with presence. To be present with your pain without judgment or resistance is to open the door to healing. Presence allows you to witness your suffering with compassion rather than fear. In this space of acceptance, meaning begins to emerge. You realize that your story, no matter how painful, is part of a greater tapestry. A tapestry woven with threads of courage, love, loss, and triumph. And in seeing your place within this tapestry, you find belonging. Belonging is a fundamental human need. It is the soil in which meaning takes root and flourishes. Your hidden smile is a signal of this belonging. It says, I am part of this world, and this world is part of me. When you embrace this truth, your search transforms. No longer is it a lonely quest, but a shared journey. A journey enriched by relationships, community, and service. Meaning grows in these connections. It is found in the ways you touch the lives of others, in the kindness you extend, in the love you give. Your smile, even when hidden, is an act of generosity. It offers a glimpse of your soul's resilience and hope. And in that glimpse, others find inspiration. So, nurture your smile. Protect it from the corrosive forces of cynicism and despair. Feed it with gratitude, reflection, and acts of courage. And when the darkness threatens to overwhelm, remember, your smile is not a mask to hide behind. It is a light to guide you forward, a declaration that you will continue your search for meaning. Because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of your search. In the vast theater of human existence, every smile, especially the hidden ones, tells a story. A story not only of the pain endured, but of the hope that still flickers within. It speaks of an unyielding will to find light, even when the night seems endless. I have come to understand that the smile you hide is not a sign of surrender. Rather, it is a mark of profound resilience and the quiet strength to continue searching for meaning. Each hidden smile is a whisper to yourself, reminding you that despite suffering, your spirit remains unbroken. It calls forth the courage to face each day anew, embracing both the joy and the sorrow it brings. This duality, light and shadow, is at the core of what it means to be human. To live fully is to acknowledge the complexity of existence. To hold your hidden smile is to accept this complexity with grace. You may wonder, how do we sustain this smile amid life's relentless challenges? The answer lies in intentionality. In choosing, moment by moment, to see meaning where others see chaos. In cultivating gratitude for the small gifts, the morning sun, a gentle breeze, a kind word that remind us of life's beauty. Meaning is woven through these moments. It emerges when we shift our perspective from what is lost to what remains, from despair to hope, from isolation to connection. Your smile is the manifestation of this shift. It is the tangible sign of your inner transformation. As you nurture your smile, you nurture your capacity for empathy, for compassion, for others, and for yourself. This compassion opens doors to deeper relationships. It builds bridges over the chasms of misunderstanding and fear. In community, your search gains new dimensions. You realize that your story is part of a greater narrative, a collective journey toward healing and meaning. And your smile becomes a gift to that collective, a gift of courage, vulnerability, and authenticity. When you share your smile, you invite others to reveal theirs. Together, these smiles create a mosaic of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. Remember, your search is not a solitary endeavor. It is interwoven with the lives of those you encounter. Your smile, hidden or visible, is a thread in this tapestry. So hold it gently, protect it fiercely, and let it be your guiding light through the complexities of existence. Because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of your search. Now, as you stand at this crossroads of your search, I invite you to reflect on the power of your hidden smile, not just as a symbol, but as a lived reality. It is the silent affirmation that despite the shadows you have walked through, your soul continues to seek light and meaning. This smile is your resilience made visible. It is a promise you make to yourself to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. In the tapestry of your life, your smile is a thread that weaves together the disparate moments of joy and sorrow, hope and despair. It connects your past struggles with your future possibilities. It embodies your courage to face the unknown with openness. Remember, the search for meaning is not a destination but a lifelong journey. It unfolds in the quiet spaces between breaths, in the subtle moments of choice. You are both the seeker and the meaning you seek. Your smile is the bridge that connects these two selves. Let it be a source of strength as you navigate life's complexities. As you embrace your smile, you embrace your humanity in all its fullness. And in doing so, you reveal the profound truth that the meaning of your search is not found in perfection or certainty, but in the courage to keep searching. In the end, the smile you hide is a beacon, a light that reveals the depth, the beauty, and the sacredness of your journey. So carry your smile with pride and tenderness. Let it guide you toward the meaning that awaits you at the horizon of your soul. Because it is in this smile, in this sacred search, that you will find yourself at last. There is a moment in every journey when the question of meaning becomes unavoidable, when the layers of distraction fall away, and you are left face to face with yourself. In that moment, your hidden smile emerges as a testament to your endurance and your desire for truth. This smile holds the stories of your past, the trials you have overcome, and the lessons learned. It is the echo of your dreams, whispered softly even in the darkest nights. What does your smile reveal about the meaning you seek? Does it speak of courage in the face of fear, of hope amidst despair, or of a quiet acceptance that transcends circumstance? Meaning is often found not in the grand gestures, but in the subtle, persistent choices you make. To keep smiling when it feels easier to give up. To keep seeking when the path seems obscure. The search for meaning is a sacred endeavor. It asks you to be present with your suffering and your joy alike, to hold your pain with compassion and your hope with reverence. Your hidden smile is a symbol of this sacredness. It carries within it the seeds of transformation. When you allow your smile to surface, you invite healing. You break the silence that isolates you. You open the door to connection. Connection is essential to meaning. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, that our search is shared by many. In this shared search, your smile becomes a gift, a beacon that lights the way for others. But the path is not always clear. You will encounter obstacles, doubt, fear, exhaustion. There will be moments when your smile feels fragile, almost too faint to hold. In those moments, return to the source of your strength. Remember the times when your smile broke through darkness. Recall the faces of those who have walked alongside you, even in silence. Meaning is resilient. It can withstand the storms of life. Your smile is the vessel of this resilience. It carries your story forward, linking past to present and future. As you continue your search, embrace the paradox of life. That joy and sorrow coexist. That strength is born from vulnerability. That meaning emerges from the interplay of light and shadow. Your hidden smile is the expression of this paradox. It is both fragile and fierce. It invites you to lean into your humanity, fully and without apology. Ask yourself, what does it mean to live authentically with your smile revealed? To be seen not as perfect, but as whole. This authenticity is the foundation of a meaningful life. It frees you from the need for approval or validation. It calls you to live in alignment with your deepest values. When you live authentically, your smile becomes a natural reflection of your inner truth. It no longer needs to be hidden. You become a light for others, guiding them through their own searches. The journey is ongoing. There will always be new questions, new challenges, but your smile, the smile you have cultivated through your struggles, will remain your companion. It will remind you that the search itself is sacred, that the meaning you seek is found in the searching, because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of the search. As we continue deeper into this exploration of meaning, I ask you to consider the nature of your smile, that hidden gesture that carries so much weight. It is more than a mere facial expression. It is a beacon of the soul's enduring search for purpose amid life's turbulence. Every smile you conceal carries with it an invitation to face the reality of your existence with courage and grace. It reminds you that even when the world feels harsh and unyielding, there is still a part of you that refuses to give up. What sustains this refusal? It is the awareness that meaning is possible, that your life has significance beyond the immediate trials you face. This awareness is a seed planted in the soil of your spirit, nourished by reflection and choice. I have witnessed in my years that those who find meaning do so not by escaping suffering, but by engaging it fully. By choosing, moment by moment, to assign value to their experiences, they transform pain into purpose. Your smile, that hidden smile, is the visible trace of this transformation. It is a light breaking through darkness, a sign that your search is alive and well. But how do you nurture this light when doubt and despair threaten to overwhelm you? How do you hold on to hope when the night feels endless? The answer lies in connection. Connection to yourself, to others, and to something greater than yourself. Begin with yourself. Practice presence and self-compassion. Listen deeply to your inner voice without judgment. Recognize that your feelings, joy, pain, fear, hope, are valid parts of your human experience. Allow yourself to feel fully. Next, reach outward. Build relationships grounded in authenticity and empathy. Share your story with those who will listen with open hearts. In community, your search for meaning gains new dimensions. You realize you are not alone. Others carry hidden smiles too. Together, you create a network of support and understanding. Finally, consider the transcendent, whatever form that takes for you. Whether it is spirituality, art, nature, or service, engage with what connects you to a sense of the sacred. This connection expands your perspective beyond immediate suffering. It reminds you that your life is part of a larger whole. In this whole, your smile is a crucial thread, a thread that contributes to the fabric of meaning. As you weave your story, remember that meaning is not static. It evolves with you. It grows through your experiences, reflections, and choices. Your smile, both hidden and visible, is a constant companion on this journey. It embodies your resilience, hope, and courage. So nurture it, protect it, and let it shine, lighting the way through the unknown. Because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of the search. In the heart of every human being lies a search for meaning that transcends circumstance and defies despair. Your hidden smile is a quiet signal of this search, a testament to your refusal to surrender to the void. But what does it mean to truly embrace this search? It means embracing uncertainty with courage. It means recognizing that the path to meaning is rarely clear or easy. Instead, it is marked by twists and turns, setbacks, and revelations. Your smile is the steady rhythm that carries you through this unfolding journey. It is the unspoken promise that you will continue to seek, even when answers evade you. To embrace your smile fully, you must learn to live with paradox, to hold together the tension between hope and despair, strength and vulnerability, knowing and not knowing. This tension is not a weakness. It is the crucible of growth. Within it, your character is forged. Consider the metaphor of the river. The river does not resist the stones or the currents. It flows around and over them, adapting without losing its course. Your smile is like the river's flow, fluid, resilient, and persistent. It carries the essence of your being forward. As you navigate your search, cultivate practices that support this flow. Reflection, meditation, journaling, and moments of solitude can deepen your connection to meaning. Engage with stories, your own and those of others, that illuminate the human condition. Find inspiration in the arts, in nature, in acts of kindness. These experiences nourish your soul and expand your capacity for meaning. Remember, too, the power of choice. While you cannot always choose your circumstances, you can choose your attitude and response. This choice is the essence of freedom. Freedom to define your life on your own terms. Your hidden smile embodies this freedom. It is the symbol of your agency amidst uncertainty. As you continue your journey, be gentle with yourself. There will be days when your smile feels faint or absent. This is natural. Meaning is not linear or constant. It ebbs and flows like the tides. Trust in the process. Know that even in moments of silence or struggle, your search continues. Your smile remains beneath the surface, waiting to emerge. In the end, the meaning of your search is revealed not in a single moment, but in the cumulative story of your life. A story marked by resilience, love, courage, and hope. Your smile, the smile you hide, is the signature of that story. Carry it with pride and tenderness. Let it be the light that guides you through the mysteries ahead. Because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of the search. As we come to the close of this journey together, I ask you to reflect deeply on the smile you hide. The smile that carries your story, your pain, your hope. It is not merely a smile. It is the quiet beacon of your soul's enduring quest for meaning amidst the chaos of life. This smile is the imprint of your courage, the visible trace of your invisible battles. It speaks without words, telling a story that only your heart can fully understand. You may have hidden this smile out of fear, out of pain, or simply because the world did not feel safe enough to reveal it. But know this, within that hidden smile lies a power far greater than you realize. It is the power to heal, to transform suffering into purpose, to transcend the limitations imposed by circumstance. Your smile is the bridge between despair and hope, between loss and love, between the shadowed past and the radiant possibility of what lies ahead. I have walked with many souls through the darkest valleys. I have witnessed the smile emerge again and again, not as a mask but as a profound declaration of life's meaning. And so I tell you now, do not underestimate the significance of your hidden smile. It is your soul's voice, whispering the truth that no hardship can silence. This smile is your legacy, a legacy not of perfection but of perseverance. Not of certainty, but of faith in the search itself. In the final reckoning, meaning is not found in the absence of pain, but in the presence of purpose. Your smile, hidden though it may be, reveals that purpose. It shows the world, and most importantly yourself, that you have chosen to live authentically, to embrace the fullness of your humanity with all its complexity. There is a sacredness in this choice, a profound beauty in the acceptance of life's paradoxes. Joy and sorrow, strength and vulnerability, certainty and doubt, all dancing together in the symphony of your existence. Your hidden smile is the melody of that symphony. Let it play freely. Let it resonate deeply. And when the world feels too heavy, return to this smile. Find solace and strength in its light. Remember that the search for meaning is eternal, that it is the thread weaving together the fabric of your life, and that in this search you are never truly alone. Millions of hidden smiles surround you, each one a testament to resilience and hope. Together, these smiles illuminate the path forward. So carry your smile boldly, reveal it when you are ready, and trust that it will guide you home. Because in the end, the smile you hide reveals the meaning of the search. And that meaning is the greatest gift you will ever give to yourself and to the world. So now, here we are, at the edge of this long and quiet reflection, where the echoes of your search begin to sound like your own voice, where the path beneath your feet is no longer something you merely follow, but something you begin to shape with each step. You arrived here carrying a smile you never fully showed the world, a smile shaped not by ease, but by everything you survived, and though the world may never have seen it. I hope that you now have finally seen it yourself. This is the most sacred revelation, that the meaning of your life was never hidden from you. It lived inside the smile you buried beneath obligation and fear and distraction. And now, perhaps, you understand. You were not just searching for meaning. You were remembering it. You were remembering the day you first felt wonder, the moment you loved without needing to be loved back, the instant you chose kindness over comfort, the night you stood at the threshold of despair and decided not to leave. These are the moments that give your smile its depth, that give your suffering its dignity, that give your life its meaning. You are not broken. You are breaking open, and everything you feared was a weakness. Your tenderness, your longing, your hope was never weakness at all. It was your humanity asking to be seen. You asked me, why do we hide our smile? And now I ask you, what will happen when you no longer do? When you let your smile rise, not because everything is perfect, but because you found something worth living for despite the imperfection? You see, the world does not need more noise. It does not need more cleverness, more argument, more shouting in the void. The world needs your smile, the one that says, I've been through the fire and I still believe in something. The one that says, I am tired, but I am still searching. The one that says, I am choosing meaning, not because it is easy, but because it is the only thing that feels real. That smile is not naive. It is not denial. It is the most defiant act of spiritual intelligence left to us in this age of numbness. When you smile from a place of truth, you become a mirror. Others begin to remember their own search, their own light, their own hidden strength, and meaning spreads, not like lightning, but like candlelight, one soul to another. And perhaps that is the secret I have been trying to share with you all along. The meaning of your life is not something to discover once and for all. It is something you choose over and over again. Each time you forgive, each time you return, each time you keep going, and each time you smile. You will forget, you will stumble, you will fall into silence. That is human. But meaning waits for you there too. It does not disappear when you are tired. It does not abandon you when you doubt. It simply waits, quietly, patiently, inside the smile you've been saving for the end. So now, as I leave you with these final thoughts, I ask you only one thing. Don't wait until the end to smile. Don't wait until the pain has passed. Don't wait until the world is safe. Don't wait until the world is safe. Don't wait until you feel ready. Smile now, in the middle, in the mess, in the unanswered questions. Smile for the life you are still shaping, for the search that is still yours to walk, for the meaning that is still revealing itself, one heartbeat at a time. Because in the end, your smile is not the reward for the journey. It is the proof that you are already living it. And so I leave you with this. The smile you hide is not your weakness. It is your silent truth. And when you finally reveal it, you will see what I have always known, that it held the meaning of your search all along. Thank you for walking with me, and may your search never end.